do you recall anything that has the lowest part in the whole story? And it lasted for nearly 2 years, I suppose. So 2 years of a constant every day of stress. And
I don't think, besides that first day when I cried after hearing the diagnosis, and then that night, and my older sister knows what to say to calm me down, and she's a lawyer, and she'll put something in some sort of technical terms and she'll have me convinced that it's okay. And I let her do it. I knew she was doing it. So she just calmed me down until I did the MRI, saw the doctor. And then once I knew, and I'd cried, and then seen the neurosurgeon who told me what was happening. Then after that I knew. It's like, okay, I either live or die. Now I know. Yeah? So now I have to decide, like, if I die, is that okay? I'm not going to spend like the next, I think it was 3 weeks till my operation, panicking. I can't live like that. So I'm going to have to decide now that it's okay. So I sat and thought about that. It's like, okay. So I've done all this. At the time I was 48, yeah. It's like, okay, if I die now, the biggest regret will be my daughter, yeah. So of course we try to hang on, but we all die sometimes. So I'm going to have to just accept that. That once that's done, and I think everyone who has a serious illness has to go through that. Once that's done, everything else is just logistics.
Yes.
So then when the surgery happened, I can remember the neurosurgeon after the second surgery, and I had the facial palsy, which you could see he was very disappointed that had happened, because they'd put sensors on the facial nerve so that they didn't touch them. None of those sensors had gone off. So he said, we didn't touch them, we didn't cut them, and they've done nerve tests on it that it's not cut, it never was cut. He said, but just sometimes being exposed to the air for 10 hours, the nerves are angry and they're just like, we're not going to do it anymore. We're not going to play the game. We're stopped working. Oh. So he said, then it's like the nerves could come back, but the brain is a funny thing. Once you don't use something, the real estate gets taken over by something else. Yeah. So then your brain is not sending the signal to the nerves. So it's not that the nerves aren't working, but the brain is not sending the signal. So yeah, he was he never said it, but you could just see on his face, again, he was devastated that I had facial palsy. And I just remember looking at him saying, oh my goodness, like in my grandmother's day or even my dad's day, this would have been game over. You've just saved my life. I've got facial palsy. Like, move on.
There's a second doctor down.
yeah. It's like I'm treating the doctors as we go through. They're treating me, I'm treating them.
They really get vulnerable. Like this.
It's really hard.
Yeah. It's terrible, terrifying to have that, because we know a lot how it sits. Like, so for example, the voice not there. For example, the hearing is impaired. The thing is like the facial palsy is consistent and strong. You feel sorry, like if you really feel, you're passionate. Because see, the profession that we are part of is about a human suffering. And when you understand suffering, it's also a solution. That's what we treat. And solution comes with that part of like, can we eradicate it? Take off that burden. And that's our success. That's our who we are about. And that makes doctors and especially surgeons and other who are crucial decision makings on a curing part makes super vulnerable.